Beautiful weather helped to make the Lake Orion Flower and Art Fair a huge success over Mother's Day weekend.
Thousands of pounds of food was collected by Lake Orion mail carriers during the 25th annual Stamp Out Hunger Food Drive.
Dozens of students were honored for their efforts in the community during a youth recognition ceremony at Lake Orion High School.
And the Orion Art Center handed out scholarships to young aspiring artists who submitted incredible works of art. Hello, I'm Melissa Kratt.
And I'm Joan Atwater. We'll have those stories and more on this edition of ONTV News.
The mission of the Lake Orion DDA is to enhance the economic potential and preserve the historical character of downtown Lake Orion. The DDA hosted its largest event of the year over Mother's Day weekend, and the beautiful weather helped make it a huge success.
We have the most gorgeous day. We are downtown in Lake Orion. It is covered with vendors. It is covered with people, beautiful sunny skies. We're having a party in downtown Lake Orion. You should join us.
The 17th annual Lake Orion Flower and Art Fair kicked off at 11 a.m. on Friday, May 12th, and continued on Saturday from 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. 85 vendors lined the streets of Flint and Broadway in downtown Lake Orion, offering plants and flowers, food and refreshments, and art and home improvement items. The event has become an annual tradition for local families looking for something fun to do over Mother's Day weekend.
It's a juried event, so we are very careful about who we bring in. We make sure we like the way their booth looks. We have them send pictures. We look at their product. We look at the spread of what we have. This year we've got about 15% flower and garden vendors. We've got about 35% arts and handcrafted items. We've got some hot food. It's excellent. We're very, very pleased. We've got a few home improvements, some kind of big home improvement guys who can really talk to you if you're interested in making improvements to your house. And we're very pleased with everything we've got. This is a great event, and we thank all of those vendors for coming in.
One of the sponsors of the event, the Fork and Pint Restaurant, was serving food to customers outside the former 51 North Brewery, a building they will soon be occupying in the near future.
Well, we're doing all the due diligence process right now, and it's a variety of things, but we're hoping that shortly that wraps up and we're able to move forward. I have friends that live out here. My great-grandmother had a cottage out here. My family just closed on a cottage out here 2 weeks ago. So we really enjoy this community. We're excited to be part of it. We like the hometown feel that it provides here. We like the outdoor activities, the biking, the golfing, the water, so we're excited.
If you would like to get a sneak peek of what's coming to the corner of North Broadway and Shadbolt, there is a Fork and Pint restaurant located at 4000 Cass Elizabeth Road in Waterford Township. Visit forkandpint.com to take a look at the menu or call 248-791-3256 for more information.
The Oxford Orion Fish Food Pantry has been feeding families in need for 43 years. More than 350 individuals benefit on a monthly basis, consuming approximately 15,000 pounds of food each month. Fish relies on community food drives to help keep the pantry shelves stocked. On Saturday, May 13th, mail carriers across the country went on their usual routes, but in addition to delivering mail, they collected food left at mailboxes during the 25th annual Stamp Out Hunger Food Drive. Here in Lake Orion, mail carriers pulled up to the loading dock at the post office to unload the non-perishable items collected throughout the community. Volunteers, including kids and retirees, helped unload and box up the donations.
The carriers, which, by the way, work very hard every day, especially during the holidays, they organize all this and get it all going. And we just, get the word out. Folks donate the food, and we just get it to the right place for those that aren't as fortunate as all of us that might have a job right now. Lake Orion's a really nice community. I know some friends in Lake Orion, and I get to get out on the lake with them every once in a while. But I've got to see a lot of the people coming in here into the post office, and there's just a lot of nice people out here. This is a really nice community out here, and it's just cool to do something for some that aren't as fortunate as some of us.
Once the donations are boxed off, they're transferred to waiting vehicles driven by fish volunteers. The vehicles transport the donations to a building in Oxford where more volunteers help sort the food into categories. The donations will eventually end up on the shelves at the food pantry in Oxford. As much as 25,000 to 30,000 pounds of food can be collected in just a few hours, which makes collecting, sorting, and transporting a monumental task.
This is by far our biggest intake of food all year long. This is our hugest food drive, so very dependent. We've been looking forward to this for a long time, filling up our basement with stock.
Anything you want to say to the mail carriers and the post office?
We so appreciate you organizing this food drive for us on our behalf. Like I said, it fills up our basement and feeds the community that we service for many months to come.
If you or someone you know can benefit from the efforts of the Fish Food Pantry, visit oxfordorionfish.org. Office hours are from 9:30 a.m. to 1 p.m., Monday through Thursday.
Joan Brace was one of several local artists who joined forces in 1979 to create an arts and cultural center in North Oakland County. Their efforts resulted in the Orion Art Center, which opened its doors in 1981. Today, the Art Center offers an annual scholarship named after this pioneer. On the evening of Thursday, May 4th, representatives of the Orion Art Center gathered at the Orion Township Public Library to present scholarships to 3 talented high school students. Now in its 19th year, local students were asked to submit artwork for a chance to win a share of $1,500 in scholarship money. Local artist Mike Hendricks was asked to come in and judge the submissions.
It was very difficult because there are so many categories, and you're talking about photography, watercolor, oil, different subjects like that. And it's how do you separate them? And there's only the top 3 winners, so it was very difficult. But for me, I go for the fine art. I just like it tight, and that's what I'll typically pick. And so that's what I did tonight.
Executive Director Janice Price handed out ribbons and prizes during an awards presentation. Taking 3rd place was LOHS student Ethan Pastano for his digital art piece called Floating Away. A 2nd place ribbon was awarded to Gretchen Altenberger of Notre Dame High School for her self-portrait done in colored pencil. And taking 1st place honors was Maya Nidek of Clarkson High School. Her scratchboard piece entitled Strength earned her a $750 scholarship.
Some of the pieces of art go beyond just having a superlative technique, but it shows a real affinity for design and making a good composition. Mike agreed as well. That was his comment, that the artwork was not really representative a lot of times of what a high school student would do. It was very professional.
Judge Mike Hendricks had some words of encouragement for all students who submitted their artwork.
I would say don't give up and don't go by art competitions because every judge is different. You know, if you had a different judge come in tonight, he would have voted for something else. But I would say just to keep going and don't quit. Do it because you love it. Keep going and eventually you'll win.
The artwork will be on display at the library until the end of May. Next up on the Art Center's calendar is their annual Portraits and Pottery Show, which will kick off with an opening reception on Thursday, June 8th. The Art Center is currently accepting submissions. For more information, call 248-693-4986 or visit orionartcenter.org.
Orion Area Youth Assistance is an organization that aims to strengthen youth and families within the community. Each year, the organization recognizes a number of young people who go above and beyond in serving the Orion community. On the evening of Wednesday, May 10th, several dozen young people and their family members were invited to attend the 2017 Youth Recognition Awards ceremony at Lake Orion High School. Youth Assistance began soliciting nominations in February, looking for young people who have volunteered for community groups and who go beyond what's required to graduate from the high school.
Some of them here tonight did Meals on Wheels programs. Some worked for a church group. Some worked for their scout program or their Life Scout program, or individuals who just worked in a Teens in Action program or did there were so many different things that we were highlighting. It's hard to recall, but think there were some elementary students this year we had for the Rock Club and something from Stadium Elementary. So just, oh gosh, anything kids do that's just helpful or community outreach.
The recognition awards weren't just limited to the Orion area. Similar ceremonies were taking place all across Oakland County.
Youth assistances all across Oakland County are hosting a youth recognition night during May. So there are 26 of these ceremonies going on, and thousands of children all across Oakland County are getting honored for doing just outstanding community outreach.
Youth assistance began in 1953 with a group of concerned citizens in Hazel Park and a juvenile court judge, Arthur E. Moore, who wanted to reach out to the troubled youth within the community. For more information, visit LakeOrionYouthAssistance.com or call 248-693-6878.
Far too often, a weapon used by an individual committing a crime was not obtained lawfully. As a matter of fact, over a 6-year period, 1.4 million weapons were stolen during home invasions throughout the country. Now, the Lake Orion Police Department wants to do what they can to keep weapons from getting into the hands of criminals. Effective immediately, the Lake Orion Police Department is inviting residents to store their weapons at the police department located at Village Hall on Church Street. If you don't own a safe and plan on going on vacation, you may benefit from this new program.
If you don't have a secure gun safe in your home, and some people do, some people have fortress type safes and those are good, but most people don't. So if they're going to go out of town, is we encourage people to drop their firearms, let us secure them here for them. You may even experience a home invasion while you're on vacation, but you're going to come home and your firearms are going to be safe. They're going to be here. And that's the primary customer that we're looking for, is the people that when they leave their home, they don't want to have the high value of these firearms or have them stolen and get into the hands of criminals. And so this is one way to protect both them and the value of their guns, and also to protect and keep the guns off the illegal market.
The police chief told us he was inspired by a similar program taking place in South Lyon, and he said other communities have contacted him since he announced the program here in Lake Orion.
Actually, I first saw it with a good friend of mine, Chief Lloyd Collins, down in South Lyon PD. And they've had this program in place for about 15 years, and it's been very successful. In fact, at any given time, they'll have up to 40 long guns or handguns, and they have found folks that quite often will drop guns and then come pick them up for hunting and target range, and if they're a valuable firearm, they just kind of leave them there. So it's being used in other communities since we've launched the program. I've been contacted by another Oakland County law enforcement agency who's interested in starting the program in their city as well.
If you would like to store your weapons at the police department, feel free to call the police chief at 248-693-8323 or send him an email at police@lakeorionpolice.org.
The Orion Area Chamber offers perks like ribbon cutting ceremonies to all of its members, even if they move to the northernmost reaches of Oxford.
On Thursday, May 4th, representatives of the Orion Area Chamber of Commerce trekked out to Oxford on a rainy afternoon to celebrate the move of one of its members. Birmingham Sealcoat has been serving southeast Michigan since 1984. Oxford natives Ryan and Mark Austin purchased the business in 2006. The company's employees and their family members celebrated the move that took them to Oxford after spending several years sharing a building with the Chamber of Commerce in downtown Lake Orion.
1, 2, 3, yeah!
After 6 months of being in 46 West Shadbolt, we outgrew it. It was a 410 by 12 offices with a bathroom, and it was just one of those things that we grew so well, so fast, that we actually, due to most of our family, our employees, that's what I contribute most of the growth in this company, is having guys that actually care about their job. So, I mean, we basically, we're in there for, 2.5 years, but we outgrew it within the first 6 months, so.
The company will now operate out of this 2,000 square foot building, and the property will allow them to keep 26 trucks, 20 trailers, and an assortment of other vehicles on the grounds. The company has come a long way since those early days in 2004 when the Austin brothers repaired asphalt on weekends.
I think the biggest thing is everybody sees that we're a family, and people like that because Oxford is a family, Lake Orion is a family. So, you know, when people see that bleed out from a company, even my employees, I mean, my employees go to jobs and they care about people. They talk to people like they were their friends, you know, and they care about everything they do. So when people see that, they respect that. They love using local companies, and this community has helped us out so much. And so I feel like I haven't helped them out enough. I try to do as much as I possibly can.
For more information on the services Birmingham Seal Coat offers, call 1-800-SEALCOAT or visit birminghamsealcoat.com. In Oxford, this is Joe Johnson reporting for ONTV News.
The Chamber hosted another ribbon-cutting ceremony a week later, and when you learn about this new business, you'll see that the timing was perfect. On Thursday, May 11th, representatives of the Chamber of Commerce gathered at Friendship Park to welcome Lake Orion's newest business, Fit for Mom, with a ribbon-cutting ceremony.
This has been amazing. It's really, like I said, it's great to be part of this community. I have found so much support just in opening my business and kind of learning the ropes just from people that I've met recently within the community, so it's been awesome.
Fit for Mom is a national franchise that offers fitness classes geared toward moms experiencing every stage of motherhood. Katie Acker started the Orion Oxford Fit for Mom back in September of 2016. A group of 10 to 15 moms gathered multiple times per week, and with the arrival of warm weather, they will meet at Friendship Park on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday.
So we like to say that we give moms the strength for motherhood, strength in motherhood, help them find that. So we have our basic program is stroller strides, where mamas can come out with babies, kiddos in their strollers, and they get a full body workout, strength training, cardio, and kids are entertained in their strollers. It's a lot of fun.
Again, the group meets at Friendship Park Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Classes are offered on Tuesdays at Babies R Us and Saturdays at Urban Air in Oxford. Visit orion.fitformom.com for more information.
Last week on Friday, May 5th, the Lake Orion lacrosse team showed some great patriotism with their second annual event, Lacrosse for a Cause. Both JV and varsity lacrosse games were held to help support the Fallen and Wounded Soldiers Fund. The event started early in the day with youth teams. At 6:30, the varsity team took the field. During the JV games, soldiers and veterans from the FWSF came to the game and met with many thankful parents and students who came out to support the event. When halftime came during the varsity game, these soldiers and veterans took the field, and Lake Orion High School showed their dedication to these brave men and women with a ceremony. This event was such a great experience for all who attended and helped support such a great cause. Thank you to all of the volunteers, and we hope to see you out there next year.
The Lake Orion High School men's and women's track and field teams have been on a tear this season. The Dragons are rolling past their OAA Red Division opponents at a pace not seen in years. With both teams sporting perfect dual meet records, the Dragons entered the OAA Red Division Championship meet as heavy favorites to claim the crown for 2017. How did they do? Here's Ian with the story.
The 2017 track season for LOHS has been nothing short of amazing. With their perfect dual meet records in hand going into the OAA Red Championship meet on Wednesday, May 10th at Oxford High School, the Dragons needed just one more victory to claim the title. The Lady Dragons have been the surprise team of the OAA Red, due mainly to their depth and talent in the field events, sprints, and the middle distance. The Lady Dragons were led by super sophomore Maddie Eaton, who was a triple winner in the 100-meter dash, 200-meter dash, and the 400-meter run. Sophomore Melissa Simons defended her 100 and 300-meter hurdle crowns, blowing away the competition by at least 2 seconds. The Lady Dragons piled on the points in the throwing events with senior Taylor Eaton winning both easily. Clarkston was pushing the Dragons with dominating performances in the 3,200-meter and the 1,600-meter runs. But the Lady Dragons' depth was too much for the Wolves as LO rolls to 7 first-place finishes and an impressive sweep of the top 3 spots in the long jump, capped by Colleen Campbell's winning leap of 16 feet, 3.75 inches. This is the first time the Lady Dragons have ever won the OAA Red Division crown. Ladies head coach Dave Hudson was beaming with pride as the team sets their sights on a potential run at the MHSAA Regional Crown on Friday, May 19th at LOHS.
On the field event side, we've been very strong this year. That's where we have picked up a lot of points. We went 1, 2, 3 in the long jump today, which was kind of a surprise for us. We knew we would get some points there, but not necessarily that. And of course, in the throws, we've been very strong there as well, with Taylor leading the way. And then, pole vault doesn't count in the league, but, pole vault, we're going to be very strong too when it comes to the regional time. So,
can you contend for a regional championship based on the schools that are there?
We're going to gun for it. We're going to go and shoot for it and see what happens. And we think there's a very good chance that could happen. As long as we can keep everybody healthy and going over the next week and a half, and we start to kind of taper and peak, I think we're due for one.
The men's team had a tougher road to their 2017 championship run, having to fend off a pesky Oxford team that just would not go away. With key injuries in the distance events, the Dragons would have to rely on their solid hurdling duo of Tyler Skibicki and Thomas Mormon. Skibicki winning the 110 high hurdles and Mormon taking the 300-meter hurdles respectively. Depth at the sprinting events also paid off for the Dragons, sporting 3 runners scoring precious points in the 100-meter finals. They also won the 200 meters and placing 3 800-meter runners in the top 6, led by Jack Everett's 4th place finish of 202.49. After all that effort, the championship came down to the last event, the 4x400-meter relay. LO had to at least beat Oxford to seal the win. If they faltered, Oxford would take the meet crown and LO would have to share the title. The Dragons didn't disappoint, finishing second behind Adams, but in front of Oxford by 3 seconds. What a way to close out league play with both the ladies and men taking home the hardware. Both teams now move on to the MHSAA Regional Finals at Lake Orion High School on Friday, May 19th, with hopes of a state meet berth on the line. ONTV will be carrying the regional finals live online at MHSAA.tv at 5 p.m. on the 19th, with highlights and results to air on the next edition of LO Sports Update. Reporting from Oxford for ONTV News, this is Ian Locke.
That's it for this edition of ONTV News. I'm Melissa Kratt.
And I'm John Atwater. Make sure to stay tuned for LO Sports Update coming up next.